Hey, badass business owners. Today, I want to talk about inventory. Yes, it's time to talk more about your business numbers because that's why you are here. Inventory is something that builds up slowly. Some of you go out and you have an intentional purchases of inventory because you basically purchase stuff and then you turn around and you sell it. And then there's people that have inventory of items because they buy them and then they create things and then they sell them. And then every time they go out and they get some, they've got a little bit extra, a little bit extra, a little bit extra. And then there's a third type of people where they just go out, they buy something for a job, they don't need it, and then they throw it in the garage or in storage or whatever the case may be. And it also builds up. So there's a lot of different ways that you can end up with inventory in your business. Now, here's the thing. Inventory is money sitting on your shelves or on your floor or in your closet or in a storage unit. It's all money. It's money you spent from your business that has been converted into this item that is no longer money. And our goal is, how do we take as much of that as we can and convert it back into money? Because honestly, it's doing nothing for you just sitting there. And one of the mistakes that people make is they just sit on this and let it grow and let it grow and let it grow. Remember, you're a business owner now, which means you need to look at this inventory differently. And you cannot be a hoarder of stuff. What you want to do is a couple different things. Let's take a look at all three examples of people. So if you were somebody that buys stuff, you turn around and you resell it, that's an inventory on purpose. That's where you're purchasing stuff knowing that you're going to use it and turn around. So it might be something that you sell. For example, you might buy a widget and then you turn around and you sell that widget. That's one type. Second type is, let's just say you have a restaurant or a store and you need boxes. So you buy a bunch of boxes because you put your inventory inside those boxes and you turn around and sell it. That's also a type of inventory. Even though it's not inventory that you particularly sell, it's still part of your inventory and it's stuff that you spent money on. Either way, we want to make sure we keep our inventory at somewhere between, depending upon your business, 4 to 8 weeks of supply. And for some of you, you might have 22, a year, 2 years worth of supply. And that's not what we want to do. Now, in some cases, I get it's a little difficult because you can only buy it in certain packs. When you have inventory that comes in higher packs, what you want to do is you want to say, hey, how can I buddy up with somebody, or how can I partner up with somebody, or can I turn around and resell this in a different way? Maybe it's bundling and selling it to other businesses or putting it on eBay and selling it, whatever creativity that you feel you need to do. But at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is have a bunch of inventory sitting at 12, 18, 26, 52 weeks of supply. Something you don't want to do. The next group of people have inventory by default because let's say you build and create things. So you have to go out and you have to buy supplies in order to create something for somebody, which you don't use at all because of how much you buy. And next thing you know, it's growing and it goes back in the stockpile and you think, oh, at some point I'm going to find somebody else that wants this particular item that I can use it. Well, over time, it grows and it grows and it grows. And you really see this a lot with creative people because they have to buy so much yarn or so much patterns or so much whatever the case may be. Or t-shirts, they've got to buy so much vinyl and next thing you know, they've created more. Whatever the case may be, somebody might have a lot of that type of inventory. Well, guess what? Once again, that day may never come and your stockpile gets more and more and more. And you also need to figure out how do you get better at estimating so that you don't have as much left over. You don't have to, just because something's on sale. I was talking to someone the other day and they were showing me all of this stuff that they bought because it was 50% off at this place. Well, once again, you're investing money in something that may or may not sell. Is that really what you want to do? And if you have a specific plan for it and you know exactly how you're going to sell it, that's one thing. But to say, well, maybe someday in the future, I might find something that I can sell or create with this product. Not necessarily a smart business decision. That's more like a personal purchase that somebody got really excited about. Now, the third type are for those of you that do services, because a lot of times service businesses, you have to run over to Home Depot or Ace Hardware or Lowe's or whatever the case may be, and you have to get some parts. And then you finish the job and you find out you have leftover parts. And it's easy for you to return these extra stuff, but you just don't. You throw them in the back of the truck, and then next thing you know, they end up in a garage somewhere. But once again, this inventory also starts to pile up, and next thing you know, you have hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of money sitting on your shelf that maybe someday you will use. Now, regardless, whatever type of inventory person you are, here's the thing. We need to get that money back into the company and off of the shelves, out of the garages, out of storage. So one of the things that you can do is you can be very creative and say, okay, I'm going to offer a special one-time service that can get rid of the rest of my inventory. I'm going to partner up with people and I'm going to see if they want to buy it. I'm going to create certain things that use up all this material as much as I can. Or I'm going to, once again, hop on eBay or some other Etsy or something else and try to sell off the extra stuff that I've done. Or I'm going to go back to the place that I purchased it and return it, something even that simple. Listen, folks, my biggest thing that I want to try to get across is at some point you have accumulated a lot of stuff, a lot of inventory, and it's stuff that was purchased through the funds of the business. And you have to do what's right by the business. And what's right by the business is to get rid of that stuff, to convert it back to cash. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Hey, when I bought this, I bought it for $100, 50 cents. But now there's no way on earth that I'm going to be able to get my money back. Even more so, you need to cut your losses, okay? Even if you take it for a loss, because today it's sitting on your shelf only has potential. It has no sales. It has no value other than just money you've lost in the business. So if you sell it, at least you can generate some cash that you can now put back into the business and buy some advertising or some more merchandise. Because right now, sitting on the shelf, it has zero value. It really does. Because as long as it's sitting there, it has zero value other than sitting on your books. But it does not convert into anything. Whereas if you turn around, you convert it and you sell it for what you can. Maybe there's a big purchase you've been wanting to make or some tool or something special that you want to buy for the business. Well, guess what? Selling off this inventory is a perfect way to pay for that. More than likely, you've already paid for it on your past P&Ls out of your past expenses. So you have nothing to lose. It's already been taken care of in that. So all you can do now is create those top line sales that can add, because there is no cost associated with it because you've already paid it in most cases. So your best bet is to try to get rid of it and try to sell it for whatever amount of money you can get for it. So sometimes you can be creative. Sometimes you can create new products or services out of it. Sometimes you can resell it, whatever the case may be. Please do me a favor, especially if you're listening to this in real time as we get towards the end of the year, but you can really do this any time of the year, is you need to take stock of all of the inventory that you have, all of the money that your business has spent on stuff that is just laying around, sitting on the floor, sitting in a bedroom, sitting in a closet, sitting in your garage, sitting in storage, sitting in your truck, wherever it is. And you need to ask yourself, how can you convert this into cash for the business? And then get excited and ask yourself, if I converted this into cash, what does it make possible? What can I do to create even more sales in my business? Because you can use that money once you sell it, and you can use it for more things, and you can create more sales just by getting rid of it and converting it out of that. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but please do me a favor, look at all the inventory that you have and see how you can convert it into cash, into your business, and use that cash to create even more sales for your business. All right. But you've already taken the loss. When you purchased it, you already paid for it. So anything you do from this point on adds sales to your business, because as long as it's sitting on that shelf, it doesn't mean squat. All right. So that's my tip for you today. Get out there, deal with that inventory, whether you want to or not, and let's get rid of it. All right. Talk to you on the next episode. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell. It's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.